Guys, I want you to remember before we get started that we are sponsored by SeatGeek. Yes, SeatGeek is now officially sponsoring three bold takes. Guys, we are so glad to let you know that with your first purchase with SeatGeek, you get $20 off using our code three bold takes. SeatGeek's perfect for any kind of live events, whether that's sports, entertainment like music, or even like local plays that you would want to go to. I use them for every sporting event I've gone to. I've never been disappointed. They give me great information on the tickets, whether it's a good price or not, before I ever purchase it. It is the only way that I buy tickets. So, guys, remember use SeatGeek. Our code three bold takes get $20 off your first purchase.
Guys, it is time to talk about a rivalry game that we have not seen since 2011. That is the Lone Star Showdown between Texas and Texas A&M. Winner goes to the SEC championship game to play none other than Georgia, who's already clinched. Texas A&M obviously coming off a loss at Auburn. Um, wow, I still cannot believe that stunner. I picked that one right, but I didn't actually think that it would happen. It was kind of just a knee-jerk reaction pick. But in this game here, I mean, this 6:30 ABC, all right, Texas comes in as a 5.5 point favorite in the game. This is for all the marbles of the SEC. Can Texas come in year one in the SEC, win the conference, and potentially get a first round bye? We don't know, but it starts this Saturday against Texas A&M. Chase, you got the Texas hat on, man. I want you to go first.
I'm excited about this one. I love this one. It's a rivalry game. It's a renewed rivalry game, and then also it has implications for the college football playoffs. If you've been watching the college football playoff rankings, we've already seen that they will drop people 7, 8, 9, 10 spots if they want to, and they'll also let some people jump 3, 4 spots. So either way, we could see Texas potentially drop out here in the last week. We could see Texas A&M jump in. All the marbles are on the table, like Freddie mentioned, in a game that has not been played in 13 years. Wow, I am excited. Texas A&M's last time, November 24th, 2011, at home. You lose by 2 points to finish out this rivalry as Texas A&M moved on to the SEC. The last time that these two teams probably thought that they would play for a very, very extended time period. And here we are again in 2024. We have gentlemen, just think about that. In 2011, we were all 10, 11, 12 years old. And now as grown men, we have the privilege to sit here and be able to watch this game. You know, let's just take it in. Anyway, guys, I'm stoked. Texas A&M has had a wonderful season this year. I think they've dropped the ball here in the last few weeks, and I'll tell you why. They lose to South Carolina. Of course, they shouldn't have lost that game. They were like, oh man, we're the best team in the nation, and they were at one point leading the SEC. And then you lose to South Carolina at South Carolina. But this team at home is one of the best teams in the nation. Only losing to Notre Dame at home. Both of the other losses on the road. Almost came back and beat Auburn as well. I think at one point they were down 28-7, 21-7. It wasn't pretty for Texas A&M. Everybody thought they were done for. And Auburn almost coughed that game up as normal. But they get Texas at home, man. Let's go ahead. Hey, Texas gets to walk into College Station. Quinn Ewers, they've played decent this year, but they also are kind of like the Indiana of the SEC. They haven't really played much of anybody, and when they have, they've struggled. Georgia, they struggled. If you want to count Vandy, they struggled. And the other mid-tier, lower-tier SEC teams, Arkansas, Kentucky, they've played decent, but they haven't played like hey, this is a top 3 team in the nation in Texas. Texas A&M gets them at home. Texas A&M hasn't played this game in 13 years, like Texas. However, the last time they played was at College Station. For 13 years, you've been tasting the 2 points that Texas has over you. You've just been tasting the big brother, or actually the little brotherness of this rivalry. Like, this is who you want to be? You don't. We're going Texas A&M, folks. Texas A&M is going to win this game and win it handedly. Elko, his ego is going to be on top-notch, full display. Texas loses this game, and they're going to be shown why Texas is not a top 3 team in the nation. Give me Texas A&M as they jump back into the college football playoffs after this game, gentlemen.
Yeah, wow. Chase, you hit on some of the big things I want to talk about. 13 years since we've seen this rivalry get played. A&M kind of fills the little brother role of this rivalry. I think a win in this means way more to them than it does Texas. Not that it doesn't mean a lot to Texas. It's just Texas's biggest rival is Oklahoma. Okay. A&M's biggest rival is Texas. They want this win so bad. Kyle Field is going to be the best atmosphere in college football this season, period. What we see in Kyle Field on Saturday night will be the best atmosphere we've seen in college football. Those fans, they don't sit down the whole game. When halftime comes, they don't go get popcorn. They stay in their seats and they watch the band. They don't leave. They just stay there. It's the most dedicated, intense crowd you've ever seen. Everything is lining up for a huge A&M upset. They still get to go to Atlanta. They have a chance to upset Georgia and get back into the playoffs despite this terrible loss to Auburn. They're the only one out of the three SEC teams to lose this past weekend, A&M, Ole Miss, Alabama, who can still get their way back into the playoff conversation despite having three losses. All right. Have y'all ever heard of battered Aggie syndrome?
BAS. Wow.
You don't get something like that without that being a real thing.
Well,
You have everything in front of you. The crowd's going to be wild. I think A&M's going to start hot. And somehow, some way, Texas is going to rip the heart out of the chest of every single fan in College Station and waltz their way to a rematch with Georgia. So give me the Longhorns in a devastatingly sad loss for A&M, but one that should be ultimately expected when you know the history of this program.
Wow, so we've got one guy going Texas A&M and Chase, one guy going Texas at Quinn. I think I'm the deciding factor here in this democracy that is three bold takes here. Texas A&M, look, if they would have just, I don't even care how they played against Auburn, if they just would have won the game, it'd be a completely different pick for me. But the fact that Elko came into the Auburn game saying that they were focused on Auburn, and then proceeded to lose, that sets a bad precedent, right, for the team. Now, hey, if they're focused on Texas, cool. All right, if you're scheming for Texas all week in practice because you know that Texas is far superior to Auburn and you're not really concerned about what Auburn can do offensively, that's one thing. But to openly say it and make a mistake is a completely different thing. And that's why I think the head and mind of this Texas A&M team is going in the wrong direction. That is a heartbreaking loss. You drop a 2-point conversion in the third overtime, whatever it was, in the hands, and you lose. The Auburn storms the field. Big deal. You're not winning the next week. Give me Texas to win this game. I think they win by 10 plus points against Texas A&M. I don't think Texas A&M at this point in the year now this sounds weird. I don't think at this point in the year they're an 8-3 football team. The way that they're playing, that they're not playing like a team that has a chance to make the SEC title and the playoffs. I think they're playing more like a 7-5 type team right now. To be honest, but give me Texas to win. Now, big deal here that we didn't even talk about. Quinn Ewers is getting an MRI on his ankle as he went out in their last game. I'm not sure his status or what the deal is with that. Again, we record on a Sunday, so not a lot of information after the game just happened yesterday. Obviously, the information will probably come out by the time you watch this video, so keep that in mind whenever you watch this and think about our picks. So we've got 2 for Texas, 1 for A&M. Huge game this weekend. I hope you guys enjoy watching that. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. This has been fun to make. Obviously, this is our first time ever talking about this game in this capacity because it's been so long. So I hope you guys are excited. Hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll talk soon.